Hi everyone. So we'll discuss the first lesson in this video. Name of the lesson is Earth as a planet, right? So we should start with the question: what is a planet? Everybody must be knowing this, but again we'll revise the basic things. Then we'll go into the textbook portion. Planet is a celestial body which moves around the star in an elliptical orbit. Right? In case of us, our planet is Earth and it is moving around Sun, right? So our solar system consists of one star in the middle, that's the Sun, and there are 8 planets. All of you must be knowing all these basic things. I believe you know all these kind of things, right? So from the Sun, according to distance, the first one is Mercury, followed by Venus, Earth, Mars, then Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, all 8 planets, right? And the first four are comparatively very smaller, then the remaining four are very big, right? And these 8 planets can be classified into two categories. The first four are called as inner planets, or they're also called as terrestrial planets. They're very close to the sun, they're very small in size, and these are all made up of rocks. And the next four are very large, they are called as outer planets, right? So in between the Mars and Jupiter, there is the fourth and fifth planet, there is an asteroid belt, right? So it's an area which has large number of asteroids. Just like other planets, they are also circling or revolving around the sun. So this belt actually acts as a boundary between inner planets and outer planets, right? So have a look at this one more time. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. These four are the inner planets. They are very close to the sun. And Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. They are very large, right? They are the outer planets. Now one more time to understand the size, right? Mercury is very small, that's the smallest one in the solar system. Then Mars, you can see the last one on the right side, that's also smaller, slightly bigger than Mercury. Then among the four terrestrial planets or the inner planets, Earth is the largest one, and this bright yellow reddish one is Venus. It's not actually red. Okay, right. Now if you go to the next topic, that is outer planets. They are also called as Jovian planets, that means Jupiter-like planets, or gaseous giants. Unlike the terrestrial planets, they don't have any rocky surface. They are made up of different types of gases. They are comparatively very large in size, right? And there are a lot of difference between inner and outer planets that we'll study in detail. Now these are the major differences. Inner planets are comparatively very small and it's made up of rock. On the other hand, outer planets are large and gaseous, right? Inner has solid surface, other one does not have any solid surface. Then mass is low in case of inner planets, whereas in outer planets it's high. But since it is terrestrial, the density of the inner planets are comparatively higher than that of outer planets. Inner planets are close to the sun, whereas the other four, that outer planets, are far away from the sun. Then it's closely spaced orbits, right? The distance between inner planets are comparatively less, whereas distance between the outer planets are more. Then if there is any satellites, in case of inner planets, they are very less in number. Say for example, Earth has only one satellite, right? Whereas in case of outer planets, they have large number of satellites. Satellites are also called as moons, right? Then inner planets does not have rings, but outer planets have rings. Not all of them, but Saturn and Neptune, yeah, right. They have many rings. Then inner planets are terrestrial, outer planets are gas giants. Example: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And in case of outer planets, there is Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. If you want, you can take a you can pause it and you can write it down, right? Now again, this is the size comparison. The red one is the Mars. It's red in color because the surface of the the surface of the Mars has huge concentration of iron. Then this whitish one is the Venus. It's almost same as the size of Earth, and the smallest one on the right side is Mercury. Now if we compare the size of these inner planets with outer planets, it will be like this. Now you can see the difference, right? How small our planets are, that means Earth and the inner planets, right? So when we compare with outer planets, they are very small in size, and if we compare these planets with the size of the sun, we cannot even see the planets like Earth, Mars, Venus, and all, right? So this is the size difference, right? Sun is a huge star, but among the stars, Sun is actually a very small one. Now, before going to our topic, let's see where are we in the universe. Right. If you see this, this is the on the extreme right side. This is the observable universe. Right. We don't know how big it is, how much is the extent, but it has a large number of local superclusters. Right. So there are so many superclusters, and one cluster where we live is the Virgo supercluster. That is this one. Inside Virgo supercluster, there are so many galaxies. We'll call it as local galactic groups. Out of the hundreds of galaxies, one small galaxy is Milky Way. Right? Milky Way is a spiral galaxy which has mainly 4 spiral arms. Right? And the Milky Way alone has more than 200 billion stars. And one among these, in the one of the what do we say, arm of the Milky Way galaxy, if we take that interstellar neighborhood, there are again so many stars, and one of these stars is our sun. And sun has 8 planets around it, and one among these 8 planets is our solar system. If we go back, we can understand how small our sun is, or how small our earth is, or how small we are, right? So that's just no, right? Now moving on to the next important topic to be discussed is the Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy. Galaxy is Milky Way galaxy is the galaxy that contains our solar system. Shape is spiral, and what is it actually? It's actually nothing. It's a faint band of lights which we see at night time. Right? Nothing. The lights are coming from the stars. There are millions of stars. From each of the star, light is coming out. So, if you look at night sky, you will be able to see at least one arm of the spiral galaxy. That's a Milky Way. But it is not possible since most of you are living here in the city, right? If you go to the village areas and all, you will be able to see the spiral arm. Now this is how it looks like if you go to any village area where we don't have much disturbance of city lights, right? Or if it can be look like this, right? Now our spiral galaxy has a bulge in the center, right? So the central part of the galaxy is bulged in the middle, right? So this is actually a photo made from several hundreds of photos. It shows the whole of the Milky Way galaxy from outside, right? Now in the Milky Way we have billions of stars, right? Out of this, one small star is our sun. Now that will be somewhere here in this part of the Milky Way. Now if we see our earth belongs to solar system belongs to Milky Way, Milky Way belongs to the local group, the local group belongs to a local supercluster that belongs to the universe. That means we are very tiny. Now coming on to our topic, earth. Earth is one among the 8 planets in solar system, and in this year we will be studying exclusively about in this chapter we will be studying about earth. Now what are the features of earth as a planet? The basic simple features are: first one, according to distance, it is the 4th planet from the sun. It is the largest among the 4 terrestrial planets. If you take the all planets, it is the 5th largest in the solar system, and it is the densest planet in the solar system. And not only that, it appears blue in color because of the presence of the water, and therefore it is called as blue planet. Now what we have to study in this lesson is a few important topics are the following. The first one is the spheres of the earth. It's also called as the realms of the earth, right? The mainly earth is consist of these 3 spheres, that is the atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. The area which is occupied by land is called as lithosphere. Then the area occupied by water is called as hydrosphere, and area covered by air is called as atmosphere. And wherever we have life, or the life supporting sphere, is called as biosphere. Let's see all these things in detail. So this is one of the simplest photo to explain everything. Here you can see this brown area which is actually made up of land is called as lithosphere, and you can see the sea which is the watery area, that is the hydrosphere, and the atmosphere is the air above us, right? And wherever we have life, that will be part of biosphere. We can have life on land, water, as well as air. So the entire life supporting area is called as biosphere. Lithosphere is the solid crust which is made up of different types of rocks, and this is the place where we live. Hydrosphere, it is the watery part of the earth, right? The oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, then glaciers. Water exists in all the three different states like solid, liquid, gases. So all these are part of hydrosphere, and it occupies 71% of the surface of the earth. Only 29% is land. Remaining 71% of the surface of the earth is occupied by hydrosphere. It helps in moderating the temperature as well as in hydrological cycle. Third one is the atmosphere. It's a blanket of air which surrounds the earth. Air is colorless, tasteless, and odorless. It's elastic and can be compressed. Right. We cannot feel the presence of air unless and until there is a horizontal movement of the air, and the horizontal movement of the air is called as wind. The air extends up to an average height of 1,600 kilometers from the surface of the earth outward. It is composed of a, a wide variety of gases, dust particles, etc. And the major gases are nitrogen and oxygen. Now let's see the last one. That is the biosphere. Already I told you the same thing. Life supporting sphere of the earth is called as biosphere. Wherever we have life, that will be part of the biosphere, whether it is part of lithosphere, hydrosphere, or atmosphere, whatever it is. That area is called as biosphere. If we take the extent of biosphere, say for example, if we go down into the land till some 3 to 4, 4 meters, we can see life, right? Bacteria and other things can be found up to that depth, right? So that much is the extent of biosphere on land. In case of ocean, till the bottom of the ocean we can see life, right? There are different types of fishes and other organisms which live even at the bottom of the ocean. And even if you go into the land, the soil part or the solid part under the sea, there also we can see certain type of life. So till that is the extent of biosphere underneath. If we go up in the sky, we can see birds and microorganisms, etc., living in the sky, and it is found that certain birds fly at a height of 16 to 17 kilometers, right? So till that height, the region is part of biosphere, right? So the entire area that supports life is part of biosphere. Now I think you have already studied this much, and I told you to make notes also. Now moving on to the next topic, and this will be the only new topic that we discuss in this video: the shape and size of the earth. Actually, I made a mistake while typing. It is the shape and size of the earth. What is the shape of the earth? Is it round like a football, or a cricket ball, or a basketball? Yeah, it's almost round. We'll discuss about it later. Before that, let's see. According to Hindu mythology, right, in the ancient times, according to Hindu mythology, it is believed that the shape of the earth is somewhat like this, right? It's semicircular or hemispherical in shape, right, which is carried by 4 elephants and a turtle, right? All these things are there. So in ancient times, people had different ideas about the shape of the earth, right? Most of them were incorrect, but they had different ideas. If you see this one, according to different cultures like Greece, that is Greek and Roman and all, earth was flat, a flat earth inside a square, right? Then there are so many other ideas, like this one. Many cultures, people in different cultures believe that earth is a flat disk like this, right? And it is surrounded by oceans on all sides, right? And they believe that there is an edge around this, right? And they believe that that is the boundary of the earth. Beyond that, it is heaven, sorry, hell and heaven. So these kind of beliefs and all things are there, right? Actually, they did not have, or the ancient people did not have any clear-cut idea. Different people thought it in different shape. Now, probably Pythagoras is the first one to state that the shape of the earth could be round or spherical, right? So back in 500 BC itself, he thought that Earth would be spherical in shape. The reason is not scientific. What he thought was, according to his belief, spherical shape or the sphere is the perfect shape used by gods. That was the reason why he guessed that the shape of the earth would be spherical, but it does not have any scientific base, right? Later in 1519, when Ferdinand Magellan had a voyage around the sun, right? He started from Europe, then he circled around the sun, sorry, Earth through the oceans like Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and again he returned back to the same place. And this one voyage marked an important thing, that he stated that the shape of the Earth is spherical. From this one time onwards, so many studies started regarding the shape of the Earth. Science and technology has improved, and now we are in the space age. Now we have cameras, telescopes, which take the photos of the Earth from outer space. Now we don't have any doubt about the shape of the Earth. But in ancient times, people had so many confusions and vague ideas. Now, what is the shape of the Earth? Is it round or is it exact sphere? No, it is not. So to see understand this, you just have a look through the window, right? Look outside. You see whether the surface of the Earth is flat. We can see undulating surface, right? Some areas are high, some areas are down, some areas are flat. There are mountains, there are valleys. That means the surface of the Earth is not flat. If it is not flat, then it cannot be a perfect sphere, right? Then what is the shape of the Earth is called? This is the shape of the Earth, right? It is neither flat, no, sorry, neither sphere, right? Uh, so it has an undulating surface, right? Ups and downs. So this one shape can be called as oblate spheroid, right? Or we call it as geoid or earth shaped shape or earth like shape. Now, in general, or if we see the earth from a distant place, it will be like this, just like this pink circle here. It is not exact circle or spherical, or it is not like egg. It is more or less like orange, right? That means the north and south, the north pole and south pole region is slightly flattened. The equatorial region, that is the right and left, is slightly bulged. Just imagine orange, perfect orange. So it has this kind of a this kind of a shape, overall shape like an orange. So this shape is called as oblate spheroid. And if you see the diameter from north pole to south pole, it's around um, 12,714 kilometer. From east to west, it is little more than that. It is 12,756, right? That is because it's not a perfect sphere. It has an orange like shape, and this shape is called as oblate spheroid or geoid. Now, size is also visible from this one particular diagram. We can see that the diameter is given, the equatorial diameter as well as the polar diameter. Polar diameter, that is from north to south, is 12,714, which is slightly less than that of the equatorial uh, diameter. Not only that, the circumference on the left side figure, it is there written on the top. The polar circumference is approximately 40,008 kilometer, and the equatorial circumference is 40,075 kilometers. So that much is the size of the Earth. So we don't have to study anything in detail about the shape and size of the Earth in this lesson. So we'll discuss the remaining things in the coming classes.